Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Flow in an irregular current with a bubbling noise. Expel gas from the stomach. A speculative scheme that depends on unstable factors that the planner cannot control. A real estate bubble. A dome-shaped covering made of transparent glass or plastic. A hollow globule of gas, e.g., air or carbon dioxide. An impracticable and illusory idea. He didn't want to burst the newcomer's bubble. Cause to form bubbles. Bubble gas through a liquid. Form, produce, or emit bubbles. Rise in bubbles or as if in bubbles. Bubble to the surface. To talk foolishly. The two women babbled and crooned at the baby. Flow in an irregular current with a bubbling noise. Gibberish resembling the sounds of a baby. Divulge confidential information or secrets. Utter meaningless sounds, like a baby, or utter in an incoherent way. Flow in an irregular current with a bubbling noise. Flow in an irregular current with a bubbling noise. Drink from a flask with a gurgling sound. Make a sound like a liquid that is being poured from a bottle. Flow in an irregular current with a bubbling noise. Drink from a flask with a gurgling sound. Make sounds similar to gurgling water. The baby gurgled with satisfaction when the mother tickled it. The bubbling sound of water flowing from a bottle with a narrow neck. Utter with a gurgling sound. Help, the stabbing victim gurgled. Flow in an irregular current with a bubbling noise. Stir up water so as to form ripples. A small wave on the surface of a liquid. Electronics, an oscillation of small amplitude imposed on top of a steady value. A reflex that expels gas noisily from the stomach through the mouth. Expel gas from the stomach. Become active and spew forth lava and rocks. A reflex that expels gas noisily from the stomach through the mouth. Expel gas from the stomach. Please don't burp at the table. Eject or send out in large quantities, also metaphorical. Expel gas from the stomach. An unstable construction with playing cards. A speculative scheme that depends on unstable factors that the planner cannot control. His proposal was nothing but a house of cards. Overflow with a certain feeling. Follow a certain course. How did your interview go? Have a particular form. As the saying goes. Move away from a place into another direction. Perform as expected when applied. The washing machine won't go unless it's plugged in. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. How fast does your new car go? Be in the right place or situation. Let's put healthcare where it belongs, under the control of the government. A usually brief attempt. A board game for two players who place counters on a grid. The object is to surround and so capture the opponent's counters. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Make a certain noise or sound. Lead, extend, or afford access. This door goes to the basement. Street names for methylenedioxymethamphetamine. Continue to live and avoid dying. Begin or set in motion. Ready, set, go. Stop operating or functioning. To be spent or finished. The money had gone after a few days. A time period for working, after which you will be relieved by someone else. It's my go. Blend or harmonize. This sofa won't go with the chairs. Go through in search of something. Search through someone's belongings in an unauthorized way. Enter or assume a certain state or condition. Get going. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Can I go now? Give support to, or make a choice of, one out of a group or number. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. His knowledge doesn't go very far. Follow a procedure or take a course. We should go farther in this matter. Be the right size or shape. Fit correctly or as desired. Progress by being changed. The speech has to go through several more drafts. Be abolished or discarded. These ugly billboards have to go. Be or continue to be in a certain condition. Be ranked or compare. This violinist is as good as Juilliard-trained violinists go. Be spent. Functioning correctly and ready for action. All systems are go. Pass, fair, or elapse, of a certain state of affairs or action. How is it going? Phonetics, an individual sound unit of speech without concern as to whether or not it is a phoneme of some language. Logically valid. A sound argument. Measure the depth of a body of water with a sounding line. The subjective sensation of hearing something. He strained to hear the faint sounds. Make a certain noise or sound. Having legal efficacy or force. A sound title to the property. In excellent physical condition. A sound mind in a sound body. The audible part of a transmitted signal. Of sleep, deep and complete. A sound sleeper. A narrow channel of the sea joining two larger bodies of water. Exercising or showing good judgment. A sound approach to the problem. Utter with vibrating vocal cords. A large ocean inlet or deep bay. The main body of the sound ran parallel to the coast. Announce by means of a sound. Sound the alarm. Appear in a certain way. This sounds interesting. Cause to sound. Sound the bell. Complete. Thorough. Politicians have no sound grasp of technology issues. Financially secure and safe. Sound investments. Free from moral defect. A man of sound character. Give off a certain sound or sounds. This record sounds scratchy. In good condition. free from defect or damage or decay. A sound timbre. Mechanical vibrations transmitted by an elastic medium. Falling trees make a sound in the forest even when no one is there to hear them. The particular auditory effect produced by a given cause. The sound of rain on the roof. The sudden occurrence of an audible event. The sound awakened them. Vigorous or severe. A sound thrashing. Expel, gases or odors. Come to pass. Disappear gradually. Be accepted as something or somebody in a false character or identity. Cause to be circulated and accepted in a false character or identity. Disregard. Expel, gases or odors. Take a short break from one's activities in order to relax. Draw air into, and expel out of, the lungs. I can breathe better when the air is clean. Allow the passage of air through. Our new synthetic fabric breathes and is perfect for summer wear. Be alive. Every creature that breathes. Impart as if by breathing. He breathed new life into the old house. Manifest or evince. She breathes the Christian spirit. Reach full flavor by absorbing air and being let to stand after having been uncorked. This rare Bordeaux must be allowed to breathe for at least 2 hours. Utter or tell. Not breathe a word. Expel, gases or odors. Express audibly. Utter sounds, not necessarily words. Give off, send forth, or discharge, as of light, heat, or radiation, vapor, etc. The ozone layer blocks some harmful rays which the sun emits. Form intrigues, in an underhand manner. A schematic or preliminary plan. An elaborate and systematic plan of action. A group of independent but interrelated elements comprising a unified whole. An internal representation of the world. An organization of concepts and actions that can be revised by new information about the world. A statement that evades the question by cleverness or trickery. Devise a system or form a scheme for. An elaborate and systematic plan of action. The branch of military science dealing with military command and the planning and conduct of a war. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The work of applying something. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. An artifact that covers something else, usually to protect or shelter or conceal it. The act of protecting something by covering it. A small globe or ball. Imagination unrestricted by reality. A schoolgirl fantasy. Indulge in fantasies. Something many people believe that is false. Fiction with a large amount of imagination in it. An illusory feat, considered magical by naive observers. Something many people believe that is false. They have the illusion that I am very wealthy. An erroneous mental representation. The act of deluding, deception by creating illusory ideas. Imagination unrestricted by reality. Something many people believe that is false. Fiction with a large amount of imagination in it. Have a fancy or particular liking or desire for. Something many people believe that is false. A predisposition to like something. She had dismissed him quite brutally, relegating him to the status of a passing fancy, or less. Imagine. Conceive of. See in one's mind. Imagination or fantasy. Held by Coleridge to be more casual and superficial than true imagination. Never had the wildest flights of fancy imagined such magnificence. Not plain, decorative or ornamented. Fancy handwriting. Lay aside, abandon, or leave for another. The car changed lanes. Cause to change. Make different. Cause a transformation. The discussion has changed my thinking about the issue. Exchange or replace with another, usually of the same kind or category. He changed his name. An event that occurs when something passes from one state or phase to another. The change was intended to increase sales. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Her mood changes in accordance with the weather. Give to, and receive from, one another. Would you change places with me? Become deeper in tone. His voice began to change when he was 12 years old. Change from one vehicle or transportation line to another. She changed in Chicago on her way to the East Coast. A difference that is usually pleasant. It is a refreshing change to meet a woman mechanic. A different or fresh set of clothes. She brought a change in her overnight bag. A relational difference between states, especially between states before and after some event. He attributed the change to their marriage. A thing that is different. He inspected several changes before selecting one. Change clothes. Put on different clothes. Coins of small denomination regarded collectively. He had a pocketful of change. Money received in return for its equivalent in a larger denomination or a different currency. He got change for a 20 and used it to pay the taxi driver. Remove or replace the coverings of. Father had to learn how to change the baby. The action of changing something. The change of government had no impact on the economy. The balance of money received when the amount you tender is greater than the amount due. I paid with a 20 and pocketed the change. The result of alteration or modification. There were marked changes in the lining of the lungs. Undergo a change. Become different in essence, losing one's or its original nature. She changed completely as she grew older. Insert words into texts, often falsifying it thereby. Cause to change. Make different. Cause a transformation. The advent of the automobile may have altered the growth pattern of the city. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Remove the ovaries of. Make an alteration to. This dress needs to be altered. Cause to change. Make different. Cause a transformation. Add a modifier to a constituent. Make less severe or harsh or extreme. Please modify this letter to make it more polite. Move to a better position in life or to a better job. Move upward. Travel up. Go up a ladder. Go upward with gradual or continuous progress. Burn completely. Be consumed or destroyed by fire. Move towards. Increase in value or to a higher point. Move upward. Be erected, built, or constructed. Result or issue. Start running, functioning, or operating. Come up, of celestial bodies. Originate or come into being. Move toward, travel toward something or somebody or approach something or somebody. Get something or somebody for a specific purpose. Gather, money or other resources, together over time. Gather or bring together. Come to the surface. Move upward. Be mentioned. Bring forth, usually something desirable. Get up and out of bed. An increase in cost. They asked for a 10% rise in rates. Return from the dead. Christ is risen. Theology, the origination of the Holy Spirit at Pentecost. A movement upward. They cheered the rise of the hot air balloon. Rise up. Increase in volume. Come up, of celestial bodies. The sun also rises. The amount of salary is increased. The act of changing location in an upward direction. Go up or advance. A wave that lifts the surface of the water or ground. Move to a better position in life or to a better job. Rise in rank or status. Come into existence. Take on form or shape. Increase in value or to a higher point. An upward slope or grade, as in a road. The car couldn't make it up the rise. Take part in a rebellion. Renounce a former allegiance. The property possessed by a slope or surface that rises. Increase in price or value. Become more extreme. Come to the surface. Move upward. Rise to one's feet. A growth in strength or number or importance. Exert oneself to meet a challenge. Rise to a challenge.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.